I know it's a little bit late. But really, guys, it was an interesting game. The Chiefs and the Eagles, they came out hot in the first quarter, and then the Eagles took that lead in the second quarter, and they had that 10-point lead. And I said, okay, maybe it's Philly's time. Maybe it's their time. I had the money line, and I hit the under. Rip. Never in a million years. Yeah, you're good. What's up, Angelic? How you doing? Never in a million years did I ever think the Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles were going to score, well over 50 points. I mean, 38-35. Chat, is this a holding call, A or nay? By the way, that's James Bradbury, ex-New York Giant. And that was on Juju Smith-Schuster. If you guys don't know him, he came from the Pittsburgh Steelers, wide receiver for them. To me, Dozer, I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't play football, but I watch it a lot. I thought this was a weak holding call. I don't think that it wasn't not a holding call. I mean, James Bradbury came out and he was like, yeah, I held him. Let's move on. So to me, it was a holding call, but it was a weak call. You know what I mean, guys? There's always holding on every single call. Even Tom Brady has said there's always going to be offensive holding. There's always going to be pass interference. It's what the refs choose to hold and what they don't. But Professor Kilroy made a really good, guys, he made a good point. If there was a no call, Chiefs would have kicked the field goal and even given the Eagles 90 seconds. Exactly. But you know what, Kilroy, the Eagles could have absolutely won in that 90 seconds. So no matter which way the call, I think the Chiefs were still going to get a field. Yeah, I believe so too. I do. Guys, it would have been nice to see what Jalen Hurts could have done in that last minute and a half. I mean, like I said, the man threw for over 40 freaking times. He had over 300 yards in the air, guys. I mean, for somebody with a shoulder injury, he did pretty dang good. So I'm not knocking Patrick Mahomes. Had a great game. Didn't have to throw as much. Like I said, Pacheco had a nice game. I think he had like 75 yards. Mahomes was hurt. So he did what he had to do. 3 touchdowns, chat. But then you can argue on the other side of the coin, Jalen Hurts not only threw the ball, not only did he have, 1 passing touchdowns and over 300 yards, he had 3 rushing touchdowns. 3, guys. 3. So not only did this Eagles team pound the ground the game before against the 49ers, they did the same thing against the Kansas City Chiefs. If you guys really want to talk about time of possession, you guys won't even believe this. I was looking at this and I said, there's no way that this is right. I said, there's no way. Okay, so listen to this, guys. The Chiefs had 24 minutes of possession and the Eagles had 35. Like how? That's a whole ass 11 minutes and they still didn't get the win. So it really shows, guys, little mistakes, like a holding call or a fumble or a missed kick, it can really, really, really determine the game. In fact, I think Philadelphia had over 400 yards. They had more than 60, 70 yards more than the Chiefs. You know what, Peabody? A lot of people said Kansas City did their homework. I'm going to say yes and no. I think Kansas City was not ready for Philadelphia defensively because, one thing the Eagles have been doing all season long and all postseason long is pound the ground on the ball. I mean, the game before that, Miles Sanders, Boston Scott, Jalen Hurts, they all had 3 to 4 touchdowns on the ground. They did the same thing against Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think they were ready for them at all. I just think they both played very well offensively. And if anything, I can argue the Eagles were not defensively ready for the Chiefs. They were not. I'm gonna argue that. Very, very impressive on both sides. I think this is good for the Eagles. I think they got a lot going for them. I'm not gonna lie. So, the fact that Patrick Mahomes came back and had a couple of touchdowns, I believe, in the fourth quarter, that was solid. So some people can argue, yeah, Jalen Hurts may have had the numbers and, he may have outshined Patrick Mahomes, but Patrick Mahomes came back when it mattered, and when it mattered was that fourth quarter. Maybe a month ago, and they're like, Pacheco's really good. He's a star. He's really fast. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And man, he is so underrated. You guys saw it in the game against the Bengals. You saw it in this game. He had some breakthrough runs that solidified those first downs. So I think the Eagles are ready for Mahomes and the receivers, but not the run game. Yeah, absolutely. Dozer, exactly. So they weren't ready for the run game, and it is what it is. So that's some interesting facts about the Super Bowl, guys. His first down touchdown conversion percentage, 66.7%. That's the best there ever was. Yards from run on 10 or more yards, 53. That's the most there ever was. First down touchdown conversions, 10. That's the most there ever was. Yards after contact, 45 yards. That's the most there ever was. So yes, this does not show the Eagles won, but man, does it show Daddy Hurts. That's all I'm going to say. But I just want to say shout out to Jalen Hurts, guys. You know, even though Philly lost, I mean, what a game did he have? Over 300 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. I mean, if you guys look at the stats, and I'm not looking at it, guys, I don't really know it off my top of my hat, but I know for a fact, you know, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, which I said who was going to have a great game. Even Dallas Goedert, he had like 60, 90, 100 yards. I mean, shout out to Jalen Hurts. Played a phenomenal game. The only thing that I'm going to say is that he had that fumble, and that's what kind of did him in. These two teams were very evenly matched and played very, very well against each other.